Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. And today we're getting into another EDC review video. This is of the SQT 18-in-1. Now, I reviewed a couple of other multi-tools on this channel before, but this is my first SQT. And I jumped into them because they actually have a couple of different models that look pretty good and that actually are very similar to the Byberry setup that I bought. Specifically, one of the newer ones that they have out for SQT is very similar to my Byberry 19-in-1. I'm sorry, 20-in-1, which just to kind of show you right now, look like this. But I didn't want to go with that one because obviously I already have the Byberry and they're essentially the exact same thing. The only difference is that the Byberry has some black highlights and the SQT doesn't. But what inspired this one is because I had the Byberry 19-in-1 and Byberry 20-in-1 that looks more like the one I just showed you. There was the 20-in-1 and the 19-in-1, which is a little bit more clone, wave clone like, or like wave kind of setup. I wanted something that kind of combined both of those, where you had the tools of the 20-in-1, but had the look of the clone look. So I was gonna almost do a video where I tried to rip them apart and combine them with the tools I wanted. But then I realized I watched another video that showed how hard that would be to do, and I didn't want to mess it up. So that's what caused me to just go and purchase this. Now, with that being said, first I just want to let you guys know I had to switch up my mic because my mic battery died, so I had to switch up into a wired one. So if the sound has changed, sorry about that. But yes, this is what inspired me to purchase this one, was because, like I said, I was going to combine the other two, but I didn't think that was going to go well, and I decided to purchase this one. Now, I ended up recording a bit and found out that sound wasn't recording because my mic dropped. So jumping into this back now. So this one right here, obviously it's a little different in regards to the with the whole, in the fact that Byberry at least doesn't have this look with this setup of tools, which we're going to get into, and that's the reason why I purchased this. But first I want to just kind of make note that the case on this one is a little bit different than the Byberries in that it doesn't have the pouch in front of it where the Byberries do. Link's going to be description down below for this one. This goes for $39.99 or $40. Now, the Byberry rough equivalency of the one I just showed you, the 20-in-1, that one has the same tool set pretty much for the most part, but also has the case that has the little pouch up front with the little tool. I'm sorry, the bit kit, the additional bit kit. So so in terms of value, you're pretty much getting a better value with the Byberry. But in this case, if you wanted the look of the wave, this one's tightness tolerance seems to be pretty good too. A little bit better than the Byberry ones of the same size. But if you want this wave look with a clip with this tool setup, you aren't going to get that in the Byberry setup. Now, so on a value standpoint, it's a little bit more expensive, and you're getting a little bit less. But like I said, getting that tool layout. Now, for me, what it was, this has all the same things of combining those two tools together. So I'm gonna just break them out just so you can see them and tell you the only thing that's slightly missing. Or is different from that setup. So essentially these two tools, this combines both of them, which this has the tool set I like. This one has the look that I like, but this one for $10 more, unfortunately. But if anything, I can tell you right now, the one positive is the tightness tolerance is better in this particular SQT. I can't say that's across the board, but the one difference though is that where this one's micro driver is removable, this one is not. And so that's the one aspect that I would have wanted from this tool over there. Other than that, this has the layout of all the same tools that are in this, but the look of this, which is what I wanted. So moving along into the layout of this, now that I explained that, then you're probably already going to know what it comes with if you've watched my previous review videos. But essentially, matter of fact, before I get into this, let me just take a look at the box real quick. I'm sorry about that. This shows you all the tools that basically comes with it. You can pause the video and read it for yourself. It does come with the one reversible bit, even though it doesn't come with the big kit, as I mentioned before. But it shows the material here. Now, a lot of these are putting the material on the box the same as the Byberries, which the material of the case is the 3CR13, and the knife material is the 7CR17. So the knife material and the material of the case in general are the same as the Byberry, essentially the same thing, just slightly different layout. Which is interesting that how these tools are starting to play around with the layout of them and how they do them. Now, there is a version that SQT sells that looks just like the Byberry 20 in 1 that I just showed you, the one that has the free Leatherman free style exterior. They make that same one, but without the black highlights. They also make one that is like the Leatherman Charge, where it has all the same tool setup that is inside the Byberry 2001, the one I just mentioned. But the only difference is it has the skin of titanium and the outer shell of that's similar to the Charge. That one also goes for a little bit more expensive than this one. So both of those versions are more expensive than this one. But to me, I wanted that Leatherman Wave look with the certain tool set. Those other two that I just mentioned do have the reversible micro driver, while this one doesn't. So now continuing where I left off, you have our straight razor, knife blade. The tolerance on this one is actually pretty nice. And it's funny because some of the Byberries haven't been that tight other than the Pro version. And this one is, so I like that. Here you have your scissors, and this is one of the key factors that I always love is having the scissors, big scissors on the outside. And so my favorite tool is the Byberry Pro, which has the scissors on the outside. This is essentially giving me a smaller version of that to a degree, along with the clip. And I just wanted this kind of look with the clip, just this kind of total package. So I just like the way it looks. Here we have the serrated blade. Here we have our saw. It's essentially the same as the Byberries. Obviously the pocket clip. Plier heads are the old style, and I say that because the Byberry 21, that I had just mentioned, has the different head style in terms of the pliers. Now, the other version of the SQT that looks just like the Byberry 20 has that same layout with the Leatherman P style skin and has that same plier heads. So you can get that through the SQT brand, but this one doesn't have that. Obviously, you have the bit driver, 1/4" bit, obviously, for all of these type of clones. The pulling this out is actually very nice and easy and smooth. It's very easy to pull out, so that's a plus right there. It doesn't feel tight. There's no like tight friction, so I like that. And then obviously, once you bring it into the lock position, your tools will lock. But if they're all flailed out like that, they're not going to lock until you get them into either a full either resting position or outwards position. But here you see you've got the mini driver, which is not, like I said before, reversible or removable. That's the only aspect of this that I would change and replace with the other one if I could. But other than that, I'm fine with the tool set. You have the awl here, which really is not sharp at all. I'm just realizing it's not sharp that at the tip, but it's weird because it does have like a curve on it, almost like a knife blade. So it's weird. It's not very sharp though, but it's weird that it's like that because normally you want your awl to be very sharp. And it looks almost like I don't know if it was intentional or a mistake because this actually, if you could see it, it's like almost an indented loop. So it's not even like sharp like a knife at the end. It curves like a half pipe. So I don't know if that was a mess up. This tool probably really won't have much of a benefit. You could still like dig a hole in something, but yeah. Then you got your flathead, which I don't know if that feels like it's short in length. Let me compare to another one because I almost feel like just looking at that right now, like it's shorter in length, or is my eyes just deceiving me? Okay, yeah, I'm looking at another one and it's the same. It just for some reason next to the all and all, it just looks shorter because most of the time the tools don't have an awl in them. They'll have scissors. And then obviously your bottle opener and the uh, wire stripper. Now, one thing I noticed about this too is that this here, so in the other tool, this one doesn't have, wait a minute. Okay, so this is another thing that's actually interesting that I'm realizing. So this one doesn't here, and I'm actually going to end up doing a comparison video between this and the ByBerry 20 and 1. This one does not have the file. I was going to say that the some of these tools are thicker than the set of tools in the ByBerry 20, even though they for the most part have a very similar tool layout. But then I realized this is missing a tool. It's missing the file, which the ByBerry 21 actually has these same tools, all four of these, but then a fifth tool with the file because that one has scissors too, and I didn't realize that. So that's very interesting. Now, even though I'm not the type who would use a file, it's very interesting. You're losing a tool essentially just out of nowhere. And it's not like you could justify it by saying that, well, because the micro driver is a more complex tool in here, like the one on the reversible one, which is on the ByBerry 20 and 1, because that one there you could say is a little more complicated because it's a little thicker because you have the ability to reverse the tool, the driver. In this case, you don't have that. So why do you then have less tools here? So that's interesting. I didn't realize that until this moment right here. But nonetheless, I do like the tool tolerance on it, like the tightness tolerance. I mean, sorry. I like the way it feels. It does have that feel of this. If you wanted a wave looking a tool without it being the pro of the ByBerry, and you want to have a clip, this seems to be the way to go, even though it is a little bit more expensive than the other ones. But I am going to do a comparison video between those in a few. And put your comments down below. What are your thoughts? Whatever the case is, do you own one of these? What are your thoughts on it compared to some of the other rivals? Like I said, I like it, but at the same time too, I do feel that and know that the value being $10 more and getting a little bit less than the ByBerries, if you don't particularly want this setup with this look, it's probably not as good of a choice. But with that being said, like, share, comment, subscribe, you guys. I'll catch you guys in the next video.